Deepavali time also still can open. Or Deepavali time also still we got event, can go out. This one straight away closed down, cannot. Deepavali also still can gathering a bit, small one, this time.
Yeah, lah. But cases are on the rise, lah. That's the problem.
Yeah, man, very bad. The cases is extremely very bad.
Especially with Selangor.
Yep. Give me a second.
Actually, during this MCO, also few of the deals that I'm handling also call off.
Oh, is it?
Last minute, I have one agent. Got one agent. Eventually, they signed the letter offer. On the day itself, is awaiting for the Prime Minister to do the announcement to see whether it will connect MCO or not. So he said he signed the letter offer at 2 o'clock. He said, myself, I'm not going to give you any check first. We'll wait until 4 o'clock to see for the announcement. So if the announcement came out with MCO, so the fella canceled the whole deal. I think the agent is inside here, so Vincent Yong.
Who is Dato' Tiong? Hi, Madison. Who is Dato' Tiong? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Mr. Gerald and Mr. Leon, we are live on Facebook. Just to let you know, we are already been seen by your friends or whosoever that you are. If you post it up on 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗘's page, it's live already. Okay. Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗘's 𝗠𝗔𝗟𝗪𝗪. I'm in track here, KL, in my own office, my suite office here in Jalan Tun Razak. Mr. Leon Lim is at his office in Sunway. Okay. And Mr. Gerald is
at home
in the industrial factory. Mr. Gerald is in his home, okay, back home. So we have a wonderful evening here today. We just have received news from all our government, okay, our so-called Home Minister, right, that one? Yeah, Home Minister. Already gave us the mandate that we are on MCO from 4th of February to 18th of February. That means Chinese New Year is basically at home, okay? So please adjust yourselves to your new norm. Don't go for holiday. We can't go for holiday. Or Dato' Tiong, owner HJ Seafood. All right. Yeah, so now we are just about to begin our industrial property market outlook. Thanks to all the viewers for joining us today. Okay. I'm sure you are all at home in your home sweet home and you're enjoying your couch or in front of your TV with your mobiles with you. Okay. The good thing about what we learned from last year, March, is that today, whenever we want to do a big event or live talk show like this, or even an event coming up for our annual dinner, we can use Zoom, or we have to innovate and change to the new norm and how we can bring out events and bring out the best of human beings, of humankind during these tough times, especially during this pandemic. I'm sure all of you are also tied up with your 𝗦𝗛𝗪𝗔 website. You can see the all over the world, we are still facing this same issue everywhere with the pandemic. Extremely please be prepared for any voice interference, especially during this pandemic when we see all these bad things happening all around the world, especially our economy, okay, especially our monetary position and all those things. Everyone is affected. Okay, so but nevertheless, we still have to survive. Human beings, we are one of the strongest top of the change survivals. Okay, you be human, you eat everything in the world. I don't know why like that, but you are top of the chain. Okay. Okay, so I just want to introduce myself first. I'm LT here. My name is Lau Tong, easily known as LT, also known as LT in the market. Don't pronounce my name wrongly. Lo Tong, Lo Kong, Lon Tong, Sotong, never mind. But just call me LT. All right. And today here I have my partner here with me. I hear LT's voice, but a schoolboy imposter on video. Thank you very much, Jude. Today I think I look thinner because I lost some kilos. I'm doing some exercises now. I've lost some kilos. I want to be as slim as my partner Leon Lim there, but I think that's the dream come true. That's Leon Lim, my partner in Sunway office. Okay, he's the Sunway branch center director. He's also industrial specialist by profession. And of course, today I have my 𝗧𝗪 here with me, my industrial 𝗧𝗪, Mr. 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗘. Okay, he's the person that taught me how to do industrial sales. Last time I'm just a young boy, don't know how to do industrial. I come in as a commercial agent. Then this Indian dude here, he's a champion. Okay, he's the champion of the champions. Malaysia can say industrial specialist, top industrial specialist. Last time from what company, boss? Introduce yourself, boss.
I'm actually from 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗘.
Same with me lah. Last time 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗘.
Now before that was from ICR, and it's also part of First Industrial and Forest Properties. It's all run by my brother-in-law and my brother. So I was in 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗘 for 14 years, and when I started off also, I started off with industrial. I never joined any other sector but the industrial sector.
Okay, for your information, 𝗟𝗪 is my 𝗧𝗪. Why I call him 𝗧𝗪? Because I'm an industrial specialist myself. Okay, so 𝗟𝗪 has taught me how to become an industrial specialist back those you're talking about 14 years ago.
14 years ago.
Shit, man, time passed so fast. I'm an old freak now, man. From a young little boy join you, now I'm an old freak. So 𝗟𝗪 has been a very good mentor to me to learn how to do industrial. So that's why I also, although we are in different companies, but he's still my 𝗧𝗪. I still call him. He teach me how to play snooker. He teach me how to play pool like a pro, and also teach me, the best part is he teach me how to become industrial specialist. Okay, and of course, 𝗟𝗪 is here tonight to also give his views. He's still in the market. He's still very active in the market doing industrial deals. Okay, he's still very active. He closed some big deals last year also, and claimed some big commission also. And of course, here today we want to hear some views as a guest. Any questions you want to ask, please feel free to ask us. Three of us are industrial specialists. 𝗟𝗪, I can say that 𝗟𝗪 was from First Industrial. He was under his brother-in-law. That was your 𝗧𝗪, right, 𝗟𝗪?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
then,
it wasn't First Industrial. It was ICR at that moment.
ICR. And then after that, right after that, 𝗟𝗪 taught me how to become an industrial specialist. Okay. Then after that, Leon joined me from the car sales. I also taught Leon how to do industrial. So you have 3 generations of industrial specialists here. Okay, 3 generations of industrial specialists, and of course, although I'm younger than Leon, but generation older. Sorry. Yeah.
𝗧𝗪 of all 𝗧𝗪. 2 of my 𝗧𝗪 also over here.
Yes, 𝗟𝗪 is the specialized. He teaches how to do the real deals. Okay, so 𝗟𝗪, I think today's topic is very, very interesting. A lot of people want to hear because we are talking about industrial. Okay, the big deals and the big game, especially in this current market situation. Everyone is stuck at home. People also wonder whether industrial still can jalan. Is everything still moving? Are we still in the market for something in industrial? A lot of people will ask this question. Yeah. And of course, being you are still talking to clients. People are still calling you. Of course, ourselves also. We see how we can advise some of the audience here when they ask us questions. Feel free to throw us questions. This is a live talk show. The good thing about live talk show is that I think in Malaysia so far we are the first that do this kind of live talk show, and we invite guests, whether you are from the same company, different company, or wheresoever. We ask you to come here to join us in this live talk show because we feel that we should have the brains enough to answer your questions, and we are not afraid to answer all kinds of questions that you ask. Okay, and especially if today 3 generations of masters here, especially my 𝗧𝗪 is here. If I don't know answer, he sure can answer lah. 𝗧𝗪.
No problem.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So as we see, industrial. After today, MCO extended. All of us cannot go anywhere. So you know our 3 wonderful experiences here. 𝗟𝗪 has about how many years? 𝗟𝗪, your industrial 30 over years.
30 odd years, 30 plus.
30
I think 30 plus.
35 got 35.
Yeah, I think so.
35 years. Leon, how many years?
About 12 years.
12 years, 35, 37, 47. Me, 47, 57, 57 was 63 years of industrial years here. Okay lah. 63 years senior citizen already, three of us. Okay, some of the main points as we look here, we have just extracted some news here from the Star. Okay, we are going to go through and discuss this, as you can see on your screen. Some of the main points of the economic outlook of 2021 report. We can see the Malaysian economy is projected to rebound 6.5 to 7.5 in 2021. Those are what they say before 2021 MCO happened. So now I don't know whether they should say this or not. Maybe we will rebound faster when RMCO comes in, supported by strong economic fundamentals and well diversified economy. What do you think, Gerald? Are we rebounding?
Yeah, I think the activity is still there. You know, because I always believe that the heartbeat of Malaysian economy is still manufacturers lah. So manufacturers is related to industrial.
Yeah.
In fact, last year during the COVID-19, I think you all would have read that in the newspaper it came out about this MTT buying 24.5 acres of land in Westport that was actually transacted by us and my team now. My team has transacted it.
Who? MTT?
MTT Shipping.
Oh, MTT Shipping. Okay, MTT Shipping.
They have bought 24.5 acres, which the total value is around 70 million.
About 70 ringgit total of industrial land.
70 million.
70 million. Per square feet, how much roughly?
It's around 65 around there.
$65 per square feet.
So I believe as long as you have the activity going on, you will see ultimately you see the results. And industrial has been always the silver lining of whatever and he has performed much more better than other sectors of the market.
Gerald, what month do you close the deal?
It was they put their interest somewhere around mid of last year, and during the MCO time. Then after they only signed it somewhere around quite close to December.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So imagine at the moment you say people are not buying, but their deals are still moving, right? The big deals are still fundamentally the buyers are still buying. But
in fact, when I just took some extraction from some sources that they said that Klang Valley itself has a total approved investment of 3.1 billion.
3.1 billion.
3.1 billion. And foreign investors had put in around 1.6 billion.
Still got foreign investors coming to Malaysia.
Yeah, there is because if we're talking about other countries, I think Malaysia still has the best infrastructure. It's also disaster free and all that.
Yeah.
Only thing we have to do something about our politics.
The politics is a major issue. That's one factor.
So last year itself, there's an investment value of 5.4 billion by companies, and this was because of expansion. The companies which want to expand because to increase the operational capacity. So there'll be demand for industrial land. So I believe that industrial sector is the right sector to be in at this current moment.
Yep.
I don't know what is your views, but that is my views.
You are industrial specialist. Everyone should listen to you. Yeah. So 2021, the services sector to rebound 7%, manufacturing sector to grow by 7% in 2021, 4.7 and 4.7 in 2021. In 2021, construction sector to rebound 13.9, boost from civil engineering side. So Leon, what do you think? You think this will happen?
I would say that most of the development are still ongoing. Well, for manufacturing sector will grow in 7%. I believe that I do agree with 𝗟𝗑𝗪𝗘 also.
Construction also still moving.
Things will all come back, but construction still moving. You see all the workers are still working, especially in your office there. You can see all the construction workers are walking around.
The only problem, I think, the contractors and the bosses are worried about is when the whole bunch of workers kena COVID, then everyone had to go for quarantine. Then actually now also quarantine one, they have a business to go. They can rent warehouses or rent places to go and quarantine their people. I just received today now. Want to rent for 1 year for quarantine center. So we have this kind of issues going on now.
About the one that the 2 acres land on they want to build a quarters for quarantine.
Gerald, you think 7%? I mean 7% rebound in manufacturing, but I believe that even though now when we are sitting back at our homes or in our offices or whether we're doing MCO, what we are doing at home, manufacturing sector still have to move, right? As long as somebody masks, using masks, there's manufacturing of masks, manufacturing of gloves.
There's a lot of new glove companies are coming up also.
Yeah.
So all these are also boiled down to, manufacturing sector being, being sana. In fact, there was a write-up about last year itself, during COVID-19, 18.9 billion investment was approved in Selangor itself. 18.9 billion of investment was approved in Selangor. Okay. This is the highest approved record so far, an increase of 238% from 2017.
Okay.
So you tell me, is there a slowdown? I don't think so.
It's not really a slowdown. Of course, I think the slowdowns is basically on some of the SMEs and the one that is normally needing the retailing sectors to move, needing the hands to hand touch kind of businesses. That one all will be affected, I believe, but not on all the scales, right? Gerald, what are you reading?
I think the worst that infected one is retail business, especially those walk-in customers one.
Retail for sure. If you see, Gerald, even you go to airport there now, we got more than 1 million square feet of warehouse space built by Alibaba to house for Lazada 60%. But Gerald dropped out already, I think. His line not good, I think he dropped out. You have to join back. Hi, Leon. Stimulus packages totaling 305 billion for both households and businesses. As you can see, this is also an economic outlook that you can see 305 billion has been used to support the households and businesses, the stimulus package. Brent crude oil to average $42 per barrel, USD per barrel, recover to pre-pandemic level in medium term. As you all believe, during pandemic time, petrol companies will suffer the most because less people travel, less people using the petrol consumption, and definitely we can see that. I think now the cars are also lesser on the road compared to last year MCO. That time MCO totally dead, Leon.
No car at all.
This year still.
I still feel that, this year I still feel that it's still like a normal day. Traffic are still heavy enough. People are still packed up.
But I think today they can say the SOPs are much better. I think if the 2 weeks ago punya MCO is really good for us. Actually today the case 3,000 plus probably is the effect of 2 weeks ago. The numbers, people are lesser going out because now you go to work. Right or not?
Hopefully the curve will lower down.
Michael, can you done with the sound interference, please? Okay.
Gerald, what to you, Gerald?
Dropped out. Is he back?
Gross
national income to rebound by 7.8% to 1.53 million in 2021. Gross national savings up by 2%. I think all this outlook we can say that provided that the MCO didn't happen now, but I believe MCO is happening now. It's already coming to our 1 month situation. 1 month will be up soon, 2 weeks more. And more people will lost their jobs. Leon, you think so?
Yep, it's a good chance for us to do more of a recruitment as well to help out people on doing that.
Total employed persons at 15.1 million, and 2021 is 15.3 million. The digital economy in Malaysia grew by 18.5 between 2015 to 2019 per annum. For sure, this one is everyone have to be staying at home to do their work. Government mounts new laws to regulate gig economy. Okay, there's a lot of gig economy going on now, and to protect the welfare of the gig workers. Gig are those do part-time, that kind of thing. All go online and do part-time work. I think now there's a trend of this kind of gigs coming out. We call it gigs. Anyone got any questions? You can see that there's a graph on the side here. Public investments, exports of services, public consumption, private investment, the demand how many millions here? Private consumption, how much? All percentage divided out. Okay, and supply, how much? You can see the percentage. And honestly, if you look at industrial, we agree with what Gerald said. Leon, Gerald mentioned also that even no matter how much we stay at home, as long as there's consumption of your food, okay, you buy Maggi mee need to be produced by a certain factory. Okay, the noodles has to be done by a certain factory, and there's workers doing for you. So the industrial sector don't really, in that food manufacturing won't really get affected. But you're talking about, I think Maggi mee, Mami, or all these places should be increased in demand. Should be more people buy more food to stock up at home. And especially toilet roll business, Leon, toilet roll business, what do you think? Also, a lot of people like to stock up toilet rolls. I don't know why, scared. No place to wipe their backside, I think. And also you look at mask and glove, definitely is jumping up because that one is the ones that is being used at the moment. And if you look at, there's a new mask in town. If some of you go to Facebook, today I think there's some new companies marketing the kind of mask that's transparent. Leon, you see before transparent mask.
Yeah.
I can see
even the Hong Kong TVB, the awards also, they are all wearing the transparent mask.
All the TV, you see Hong Kong, the side, all the TVB, all those talk shows also, I think they are all using the transparent masks wearing around, which so-called reduce the risk of going reduce the risk of going to what to kena the virus. Okay. Is Gerald in? Gerald still not in yet?
Yeah, Gerald is in.
Can see or not? I didn't see him.
Yeah, is here. Gerald, you there?
Or Gerald need to unmute his phone. He need to unmute.
Yeah, Gerald, you mute your phone already.
No worries, we wait for you, Gerald.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Now you can hear you.
Yeah, now it's clear.
Okay.
Loud and clear now. So we're just talking about manufacturing side, whether who is going to be, people are still producing toilet rolls and so on and so forth. I think what other industries are moving, Gerald, during now?
I think logistics are doing very well. There is a lot of demand for warehouse spaces now.
Yeah.
Last time when I started off, the sought after space is around 30 to 40,000 square feet.
Yep.
But nowadays, the sought after spaces is around 100 to 150,000 square feet. I think that there is a handful of people looking for that type of sizes now.
Yeah, I think the logistics side, warehouses really increased a lot, especially everything is going online, or they are using store products.
Yeah, that's e-commerce.
That's right. Logistic, shipping, container yards, and all that all will move very fast.
Yeah, and I believe the retail sector will be badly affected because all the retail spaces are all moving to warehouses spaces, right?
Yeah, and also I believe office space also because once the people get used to the new norm that is working from home, I think big companies are not going to rent and pay so high rental for office spaces anymore.
Yeah, office.
So I believe I believe commercial will be badly affected also, like in that sense, like,
I think in terms of residential, commercial, and industrial, commercial has the biggest hit when this.
Yeah, yeah.
Because-
Everyone is, anywhere you go, you have to scan. And Malaysian people, they want convenience. They don't like to do all this. You go to a shopping mall, you have to scan. Then you go to another outlet, you have to scan also.
Yeah. But the scanning actually the what to supposedly to control the crowd, all those things. But even though you are been there, I think that you got some COVID patient,
Yeah.
COVID people kena also. I don't think the message the government will send to us and say you also must quarantine. I don't know whether the message can reach out to everyone or not. That's a question mark. Yeah, Gerald.
That's why I believe this office space and all that, people will go into the industrial sectors and rent the office space. Is much more, I think 50% lower than you renting in a commercial center.
Yeah. You can see there's even in my office here, right opposite, all the office spaces are not even being taken up. Very, very, very bad take up rate.
And it will be worse, I think.
Yeah,
Once the 5G comes into place, people will start, moving out, because it'll be quite normal for people to work at home now.
Yeah.
Big companies are not going to spend a few 100,000 renting office space anymore. That's what I believe now,
Yeah, the office space will be all shrinked up. That's the major issue.
The only thing is people will buy office buildings and all that, because I think there'll be sharp drop on office buildings.
I think less people building office buildings already,
Yeah.
Hotels.
But industrial, I believe hotel all also badly affected.
Yeah, industrial is still
industrial is still a good market to be in. It's a safe and good market to be in.
Yeah, I always also mention to a lot, is that industrial and agriculture is always the basis of everything. As long as human is still living industrialization of products and how our lives live, all still need industrial and agriculture. Agriculture is something that all of us need.
Yes.
Yeah, you eat all the food, all the poultry we eat also, we need that happen. No, agriculture cannot move also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Industrial and logistics sectors to be top. Yeah, this is, I think, the one thing that we just mentioned from the age market, the news from the age. You can see that the industrial sectors that is moving, top performing, definitely one of it is the logistics side, like what Gerald has said. 𝗟𝗪𝗡 Malaysia also predicted this to happen in 2021. Okay, it notes that COVID-19 has accelerated the growth in e-retailing. I think the retailing part, the main thing is all moved into what do you call e-retailing, which is all online.
Online.
What? The slides are not showing. Is the slide showing it, Gerald?
No, nothing. There's no slides.
Come like that one. Wait, something wrong with the slides. From here. Is it? Can you see now the slides?
Wait,
John can see.
I cannot see.
How come? Slide jatuh.
Can see.
Can see. Okay. I think the slide just dropped out. Okay. Can see now, Leon?
Yeah, can see.
Okay. That's the part where we need to upgrade. Once we do live talk show all using separately, all the slides, all these IT things have to back up a bit. Yeah. So growth in e-retailing, the part where all this pavilion and you're talking about people buying things on the face-to-face basis at shops, retailing, all move to e-retailing and everybody today, when you, like you say, general office space has turned into all home. Okay, so basically everyone can work more with mobility and mobile working space. All can just go online with their phones. Same thing. You go buy things today. You don't actually need to go to Tesco to buy. You can just order online.
Exactly.
But only some of the consumers still like to go to the market and buy and so and so forth, because of course they can choose their own vegetable, can see it. Sometimes people order, they scared bring to the house. All don't look like what they have seen online. That's the only issue.
But I think people nowadays also are getting used to it already. Most to most, if you are bad luck enough, then if you buy things, then the thing delivered to you is different thing, then it's upon your own luck. But I think a lot of people are preventing from this by looking at the review and the content of it.
Yeah. You also have to see the reviews, the testimonials. And then you can see that both warehousing and logistics sectors, investors are actively looking in strong asset class. I think you can see there's a lot of increase in industrial REITs also, and people buying industrial properties for investment. Yeah, what do you think, Gerald?
Yeah, I agree with you. Even REIT companies out there, they are looking for good investment, and I still believe that there's a lot of opportunities in the industrial division now. Okay?
I think now, like we see, during COVID-19 pandemic, the trend of market has to be changed. Has to be I think these 2 years, 2020 and 2021, is these 2 years of we can say a century change, lifestyle changing for human being.
Yeah.
Century event. I think it only happened 100 years ago, that pandemic. 100 years ago, of course, we didn't have the technology like this to avoid the numbers from going up tremendously. But still, I think this one is not as fatal as the Spanish flu. But it is still due to the fact that, of course, we have technology today. We have all the comfort of our homes to still connect with our so-called loved ones, family members, and our colleagues and our subordinates or our bosses and things like that, Gerald?
Yeah.
Can we imagine if in 2020 here we don't have a smartphone, we don't have internet line? I think we are just like Spanish flu that time, all go crazy. Where this is gonna be a laughing stock. I don't know what will happen if that is gonna happen in our kind of era today.
Yeah. But we got to get used to it now. But what I'm saying also that, we shouldn't let the circumstances of things that happening now to affect our performance in work especially people like to hide behind the COVID. They will tell, market is bad because of COVID and all that. But if you change your mindset, because I don't know how long this COVID is going to last, but if we need to change our mindset and do the activity part in order for us to see results. In fact, just last month itself, we did some activity like planting signboards and all that, and we just managed to close 2 big deals that is around 18 million. So I believe as long as you have the activity going on, you don't have to worry about all that.
Michael, no, somebody just speak up. Michael, you must be very alert, please. Because suddenly some people scolding each other, then suddenly we have to hear what they are scolding.
Oh.
Yeah, they are talking to other people. Doesn't matter. Warehousing continues to be supported by logistics sectors and storage needs. We see a strong pickup as retailing businesses continue to further improve. Brands continue to leverage on the infrastructure and capabilities of local and international e-commerce players. We also expect to see more deals flowing through in 2021 and the market to be more robust after a year of pandemic with slow action. I think all this is definitely the so-called prediction by 𝗟𝗡𝗪 before the MCO 2021 happened. That time Malaysia, the numbers, what wasn't that high, but of course, like what Gerald said, we also want to see at the bright side, good things happen. You just close 18 million deals during even last month. You just passed on signboards. You all can do this fantastic job. And overall, I think industrial sectors are still moving. Overall, it's not like it's going to be dead and nothing is moving, right, Gerald?
Yeah, I think we also have a lot of inquiries coming in. I believe your side also you do have.
Yep.
As long as you are actively in doing your thing, you will have inquiries coming in.
Definitely. But I think nowadays I become MD not easy. Inquiries also lesser to me. There's more training and all those things done. I so want to be back in the market to do sales. It's so much fun, so much more fun to do sales.
That's the reason why I left management, okay? I prefer to do sales, okay?
But what to do? That's the responsibility I have to carry now.
Yeah, you have to grow. Lah.
Yep. Yeah, industrial is a sector that brought me where am I, all the technical things. Gerald, look at this on your screen. I think this is something that is also a good news happening. This land, I'm sure you know where is it.
Where do I see? I can't see anything. Lah.
You flip your phone. This one, the picture, my face, you flip it.
The 𝗣𝗥𝗡𝗣𝗘 factory.
What? Why? Why the slides drop up again? Why keep dropping out?
No, you see here. I am looking at the slides.
Can see, Gerald?
I can't see.
I think you swipe left or swipe right. I think you swipe to your left. If you what you see now? You seeing my face?
I'm seeing your face. I'm seeing Leon. That's all.
You swipe to the left.
Left, huh? Left, I see.
Non faces right. Oh no, sorry. You swipe to the right.
I see your face, lah.
Swipe some more time to the right. Cannot really.
That's all.
You can't see the screen. Anyway, never mind. What is on our screen here is actually the former 𝗣𝗥𝗡𝗄 and 𝗡𝗔𝗡 bottling factory in PJ section 13.
Okay.
That one you should. You can't go there. This was the Singapore-based National Aerated Water Company.
Aerated water, yeah.
Yeah, which was just sold by I think this is sold by Knight Frank. I can't remember, was it Knight Frank?
Even you see the Western Digital also sold what?
Yeah, Western Digital also. Oh, this one not sold by Knight Frank. This one was sold by
𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗪.
Huh?
I think it's 𝗧𝗪𝗪.
𝗧𝗪𝗪, yeah. Yeah, so this one was a co-broke deal. I think it was a co-broke deal. I remember it's a co-broke deal. Anyway, anyway, this deal was closed as far as $14 per square feet, $46 million deal. High. I believe this one is more transaction for commercialization, zone for mixed commercial.
Yeah.
I can't say that it's actually for industrial purchase, but I think market, how bad also people still negotiating deals, closing deals. This is a bottling plant which has ceased operation over a decade ago. I think 2 acres. Lot 54. Yeah, it was put up for sale in late 2019. With 41 years left. Yeah, so this one also now reduced to 39 years come April, which I think this company bought it definitely for a developer bought it. Penang-based developer bought it. So we are looking at definitely more development in PJ, more high-rise coming up. And the square feet there, I think, is extremely high at the moment.
Section 13, yeah, fetches a high price.
One of the best prices in terms of
Very mature.
Again, Michael, the interaction that we always get. Please mute. Michael, please pass me the host. I better be the host, then easier for me to click. Yep. All right. So this bottling factory, Gerald, what do you think? Is it good for commercialization in this place?
I think you're talking about section 13, that area, that they have rezoned the whole area actually, and many of them are building commercial buildings out there.
What do you mean by red zone?
Come again?
What do you mean by red zone?
The whole area, the section 13 has been it used to be all industrial. Then they have, I think, rezoned it for some certain areas. You can use it for commercial. Some areas you can use it for educational center and all that. So you see, in Section 13, there's a lot of education center, hospitals. So they have rezoned that area into, I think, commercial, industrial, and educational center.
This development.
I think my deal, this one was the Penang-based developer is definitely a so-called public listed company. But how can public listed haven't announced? But national rated was announced. But my deal that I closed in PJ never announced myself.
Your one,
You should announce it out. Tell the age.
Malaysian Assets.
Behind Malaysia Asset lah, Malaysia Asset, that one was 29.5 lah. That one sold at 29. But also 2 acres similar to this. So this was 2.06, ours was 2.1. But definitely, if you see this one was commercial value. That one actually, according to Land Office, also is already in the area where for submitted for this, the perancangan submitted for conversion to commercial in Section 51A. So of course, the purchaser bought it at a much lower price than this. This was 46. That one was 29. Lesser.
It depends on the plot ratio, I guess.
Yeah.
Like your one, I think you don't have a high plot ratio, where else the Section 13 will have a higher plot ratio.
Yeah, the plot ratio there, I think definitely because of the reason why Malay Asset is not sold is also because of the
plot ratio. Yeah, is 1 to, I think 1 to 4 only.
2.5.
1 to 2 lah. 1 to 2 isn't it?
2.5.
2.5. That's why people not willing to buy, because you need to go high rise already,
Yeah.
For the price the owner is asking.
That land is got forced earlier sold already. Now tak dapat lah for.
Yeah.
In the rezoning situation, I think that's why I couldn't get it. Because this one 41 years left. The one I sold was only 53 years left. So similarly, you say, but if you the square feet, because the factory actually basically are all above 30, more than 30 years old. Basically, the building don't come with any value anymore. If you calculate the it's already at zero. It's already at negative. So you're talking about just the land cost itself also is about the one we sold was about 300, I'm not mistaken. 300 square feet. The fact is
that's what I think Malaysian Asset were asking also.
Yeah, that's what they're asking also. $344. This one sold at $514. And in fact, the one that I sold $344 is still much, location-wise, is still nicer, nearer to Federal Highway. But I think Section 13 is because of the plot ratio, like you said.
Plot ratio, yeah. I think you can fetch higher value. The plot ratio is higher.
Yeah. And I think this is an area that we discussed, because if you ask an industrial specialist like Gerald, if any of you got anything you want to ask Gerald, you can throw up some questions here to myself and Leon. If we look at this study, I think this was news published in Today Online, and the National Rated announced this with their agents that they sold this piece of land. And to be honest with you, I see this as an old industrial area commercializing, where PJ is one of we can say one of the first organized industrial parks in Malaysia, Gerald.
Where PJ? Yeah. PJ was one of the older industrial park. That's why you see all the factories are quite old around there.
I can say one of the first organized industrial park. Don't Chan Sao Lin area is like, that one is very messy lah.
Chan Sao Lin is messy lah.
It's messy, yeah. It's not a proper planned out.
Yeah.
But this one is the planned out industrial park, which I see Malaysia's #1 planned industrial park turning commercialized. And this place is not even considered light industrial. This place, I think it's all last time is heavy, right? Heavy and medium, is it?
Yeah, heavy and medium.
All this aerated water, all these are all heavy and medium industries, right?
Yeah. That's why Malaysian Asset can be there.
Malaysian Asset is heavy. Malaysian Asset is there heavy, and then you also see PJ got last time also got Danda Tire Factory, all those there as well, right?
There's one cement factory also down there.
So you can see the first industrial park in Malaysia, which is organized now turned commercialized. So this is one of the, we call it urbanization things happening to our country.
Yeah.
First organized industrial park that's turned commercialized. But other than that, I think now you can see a lot of heavy industrial lands moving further and further to Kappa, to Banting, to many places outskirts, which you can see the prices goes up to $60 per square feet, Gerald?
Yeah. You can nowadays you can't get industrial land which is, I think, below $30 you won't be able to get anymore.
Below $30 can get, but that one is that one not zoned for industrial. That one at their own risk to do Malaysia boleh application.
Yeah lah. I mean, you're talking about proper industrial land lah.
Proper one, yeah, the $30 one, the one you play your own Malaysia boleh style lah. We still get, we still must give hope on Malaysia because it's Malaysia boleh.
That's why I'm saying, if a developer were to come up with an industrial park with the right pricing, it can be sold anytime.
Easily sold.
Yeah. That's why you see your developer last time wanted to go back to industrial one.
Yeah, honestly. A lot of developers want to go back to industrial now.
But now for them to go back and to get the right land with the right pricing is also difficult.
Yeah, exactly. But I think more and more companies in so-called, PJ here will see this kind of change this coming years ahead.
Yeah.
But you can see that PJ also commercial is a really high demand now. Still got a lot of people a lot of families from outstation coming here. Also the families that is there already buying. There.
That's why you see the growth area now is all towards like Sepang and Banting side.
And a lot Lawang, all that side.
Like area management board also 80 hectares around there.
But I think that one also quiet already now.
Yeah, because they are not selling that, they are waiting for people to, they are build to specs, isn't it? Build to suit, isn't it?
For customers to confirm that side.
Yeah. So that will take a longer time to see development taking place.
Yeah. So Gerald, what do you think now if in terms of industrialization, besides moving towards the port and West Port side, North Port side, and also the airport, where do you see the growth of industrial moving towards?
I believe that the growth will always be more in demand places like which is closer to the port, whether it be seaport or airport. If you see, you're talking about Nilai also is growing tremendously fast. Yeah. And now Nilai also asking for $80 per square foot, because it's closer to the port.
Yeah.
Serena City,
Serena City, $105.
$105.
Crazy,
So you tell me, where is the anyhow, 𝗧𝗟𝗪𝗡, you know that they always like to fish for the highest price.
Yeah, our friend, the developer in what is this, Hatta Lega there, asking $120 per square feet, heavy industrial.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not asking very high enough. Prices will shoot up that side.
So you tell me, these are the areas which people eventually at the end they have no choice but they'll buy.
Yeah.
That's why nowadays like you see Westport itself always was dominated by Central Spectrum, right?
Yep.
Now a new developer came in, you put your price lower and you'll be able to sell off your land.
So, the one that you're handling the project, is it?
Yeah. I mean, now we also see a lot of people are coming in to buy, because at one time people were like, they put their handbrake because they want to see how badly this COVID is going to affect their business.
Yep, exactly.
But I think this COVID is going to take another 2 or 3 years more to go. So people are not going to wait, because the demand of of spaces, demand. The client, I understand, is, wanting more, that there'll be no more demand and all that. So people can't wait anymore. So they push ahead and purchase land and all that.
Yep.
And in Klang itself, I think in coming by end of this year, you can see a lot of big warehouses that is coming up. 150,000 square feet warehouses coming up, because this is the demand actually now.
Current demand for warehouses. Because warehouses, like we say, the whole retailing market has all moved to warehouses, basically. You can see whatever retail spaces that is already in the market is all shifting towards the warehousing market. That's why the warehousing demand also shoot up.
Yeah.
A lot of our warehouse clients, owners are always also tell us now there's so many new agents coming up handling the industrial side, handling all these so-called inquiries that's coming from the commercial side, all changing to e-retailing, all towards warehousing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you see now people, investors are much more smarter. They started building warehouse space which is around 150,000 square feet. Last time there was not much of demand, but now you see recently there's a lot of spike and on a demand of 150,000, even 200,000 square feet of warehouse space.
Yeah, extremely high. And I think the next slide also shows, Gerald, this slide also another transaction done. This one done by I think the Taiwanese company bought the Western Digital.
Wistron.
Yeah, Wistron bought the place for 120 million.
Wistron has a big facility in Pok Klang, which is around 300,000 square feet.
Producing also microchips.
So I was surprised. Hey, how come they bought Western Digital? Maybe they want to utilize the free trade business.
I believe if they bought this, definitely is this for own use. It's not for redevelopment.
No, it's definitely going to be. It's for their own use. It's definitely for their own use, but I think they want to enjoy the free trade zone incentives.
And I think this is a good news.
FTZ incentives.
Gerald, I think this is a good news for 𝗧𝗟𝗡 also. I believe the people, the residential owners of all those places like your kampong there, your kampong, right, that place. I think all the owners of the houses there will have something. I think the so-called Western Digital workers now will definitely shift to this side, and at least the residential that side all will still move. Everyone was worried.
Yeah.
Everyone was worried that Western Digital was so.
Because one time 𝗧𝗟𝗡 was like abandoned because a lot of factory in free trade zone was closed down.
Yeah.
So a lot of factory workers have moved out.
Yeah, then after that, when Western Digital was put up for sale,
so a lot of places in 𝗧𝗟𝗡 has been, available for rental and all that.
Yeah, and the best part is after Western Digital put up their place for sale, also all the owners were worried. After that, the whole place all become empty, right?
Yeah. The condominium, the apartments, all I think a lot of empty.
Yeah. So it's near you, Leon. What do you think?
I hope that this Western Digital will help this Icon City to fill up the spaces in Icon City.
The Wistron coming in will help Icon City also will depend on the commercialization of the place. And Icon City has been empty for quite some time. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been empty for quite some time. And I think this is a good benchmark deal by Knight Frank. We have to congratulate our friend there, Alan Sim, for closing this deal. I believe demands are still there for a space like this to in fact produce the industrialization of our microchips and all this. I think this one was microchips, right? This warehouse.
They were doing Western Digital were doing hard disks, isn't it?
Oh, hard disk, yeah, I got microchip, hard disk.
Hard disk lah.
Yeah, hard disk. Then the other one was Motorola, which is now, what's that? What's the name really now? I forgot. The Motorola factory is still there lah, at the end.
Yeah. Motorola, what was it?
Now the new place, what's the name? I can't remember the name.
Yeah. Always pass there, but it's just a mental block.
I think that place is still got the demand for what for this so-called industrial free trade zone. I thought free trade zone would be gone sooner or later because Sunway bought the place also for the extreme park, running an extreme park there. I mean, they are looking for redevelopment of commercial developments there. But somehow or rather, this place, I think now there's still industrial demand with Wistron buying this. I think there's still hope for the free trade zones to be running for some years to come, Gerald?
Yeah. I think your client also bought that, isn't it?
Yeah, Mr. Ang.
But he once only rented out.
He is re-renting out to Western D for car park. Then the other one, the small little place, whoever want to rent the land and park things there.
He should redevelop it and rent it out higher.
They will definitely redevelop the place for commercial. They won't do much for this
Industrial.
They already demolished two of the factory areas. Two of the factory space, about I think 40,000 square feet, 50,000.
How come there's another person handling it? Not you?
Oh, that's my agent, Hugo.
Okay.
Yeah, I put up last time. I went. My guys put up the banner when my banner all was taken out. I don't know which clown, so I lazy to put lah. Ask
I think that time they were doing the road widening.
Yeah, the widening road. That time the thing was all on the fence. But anyway, maybe time for me to don't do so much deal. Ask my agents to go and do. Then I have to manage from the top what to do.
Yeah, I think you have to play a different role right now.
Now I have to go and negotiate all this 120 million deal quietly. Like one. That's the things that I have to do now lah. Go and negotiate estate land, big pieces of development land quietly at the back, and then wait for some announcement if they do it lah. That's the only feel you can get now today. Or your client do the announcement, and sometimes if your firm is big enough, they mention your firm also. Then that's the things only you can say thank you very much lah.
Yeah lah.
Yep. So we are moving towards that kind of sector, being the corporate side of it. All right. So Gerald, this is something Mr. Alex asked me to bring it up to you, and Mr. Alex Gomez is also here. I think industrial transactions data H1 2020. I think Mr. Alex Gomez is here. He also want to say hi to you. Your advisor, also your advisor. That one.
Yeah.
So industrial transactions in 2020, you can see terrace factories, semi-D factories on the left, detached factories, complexes, vacant plots, others. These are all the transaction units in the whole industrial market. I think Mr. Alex got this from one of the sources there. And you can see there's 1,980 units of transacted industrial properties, primary and secondary market in the year 2020. And 657 was terrace factories. I think Jason Lau and Leon, we all did part of this 657 by selling the Sungai Chou house. And I myself
contributed some of it. Contributed some of it.
Contributed some of it. This terrace factory. I think some of our industrial specialists like 𝗟𝗓𝗯 models, Jason Lau also contributed some in Puchong and Subang. Then you can see semi-D factories also, they contributed that part. And see like Hugo Folk also contributed this part. And the Su brothers also all contributed this part. Semi-D factories, detached factories. Semi-D still a lot of transaction. 478 factories were sold in 2020. Despite you say how bad industrial is, also still got 470 units sold. And this is upon all the industrial specialists. Then 256 of detached factories sold. And also industrial complexes, 38 units were sold. Vacant plots, 467. This one, Gerald, you play a lot of part here, huh? Vacant plots.
Yeah, this one I think I contribute a lot.
I also contribute some to Mr. Ong. This one here. Then
Yeah.
others. I don't know what others. Don't know what other is others. But there's 1,980 of units, properties that sold during this pandemic period. And look at the price. 456 units, 300 to 500,000, 223 units, 500,000 to 1,443 units, above 1 million, or 858 units. This is a tremendous number. Above 1 million, as you can see, 43.3% is above 1 million ringgit, and all the big deals are there. Type of factory, warehouses, I can see here, and also
Most concentration is in Selangor still.
yeah, all is concentrated mainly in Selangor. You can see, Gerald, can see already.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. So then Kelantan, Perlis, all quite a few The few transactions.
680 in Selangor.
Terengganu, Wilayah Persekutuan 34 only not much transaction. Pahang, Anda 76, Negeri Sembilan 115. I think Negeri Sembilan concentrated Seremban and Nilai Senawang. Then Sabah has quite a number of transactions. Or Sarawak also 207. Sarawak also quite a lot, the Eastern Malaysian side. Malacca 126, Perak 138. Perak has quite a stable industrialization also, Gerald.
I'm not sure about Perak. I haven't done anything in Perak.
But I've spoken to quite a number of people. Perak has quite good industrial demand also in terms of
the price there is low. The rental there is
open a new branch down there, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a new branch already open, but we are waiting for the board. Now board also not moving much. That also doing some industrial things there, trying to build an industrial team. Penang is also quite high, 152. Penang because of Penang definitely because of Bai Lepas and also the Seberang Perai Port. Perak is quite 138 units. Sarawak 207, Johor 252, Selangor 680. Selangor is the highest.
So we should take advantage of this.
It makes you happy.
I think there's a lot of people here discussing or probably want to ask questions later on and see what we can answer them. But you can see that industrial transactions is not as high as the so-called residential sector or the commercial sector. But we can only tell industrial is always the niche market, the smallest sector of the market, but actually it's a very niche market. The deals are very huge there. For those of you that wants to come into industrial waiting to crack a nut and hit a jackpot, I think sometimes you can, but many times you can't. You need a very specialized people to do this kind of industry. And it's not easy to come in and try to hit the jackpot, right, Gerald?
Yeah. But you can train them well because you have done everything.
Yeah, now at the moment, we are only 2.5 years old. The company now we are training well, trying to build. I think we can only see the results from my training probably at the 4th or 5th year and 6th year onwards. Of course, we already see with the first result in the 𝗍𝗪𝗪, the industrial rent of the year from MIA. Correct. Complain about others is just going for the coffee shop and talk rubbish only, right?
Exactly. A lot of people get excuses, they blame COVID, they hide behind the COVID, they tell this and that, nothing going on, But if you have a meeting with the Su brothers, you tell them how's the activity, they can tell you, we have a lot of activities going on because they are actively involved. They do the right activities. That's why the last meeting I said, activity breeds productivity. No activity, zero results.
Just like last time, Gerald, when we were in industrial division that time, you asked me to go and cover Puchong. Everyone want to go say Puchong over the toll Puchong a lot of gangster got Chinese gangster, Indian gangster. All kind of
That's
nonsense.
why I send you that because you look like gangster.
True.
Then go there become top sales or what?
You met some
complain?
Indian gangsters there, isn't it?
Huh? I met all kinds of
You met some Indian gangsters there, what?
Indian gangster, Chinese gangster also met before. lah.
You met some Indian gangsters there, what?
Yeah. A lot. But what to do? That's part of business lah. In our line.
But the Indian gangster gave you protection money, huh? It's supposed to be the other way around.
He is the gangster over there.
I did one viewing with him, then he gave me money. Remember, how much? $500, I think. Yeah. Gave me, asked me, please take.
Was it?
Yeah, he gave me the 500 ringgit from the pink color plastic bag. From the scrap metal one, the big taiko. So, and I didn't close any deal. He gave me 500 ringgit, but then when he didn't nice with it, with banana leaf rice.
Yeah.
Quite a big $500 protection fee he gave. But that's the part of the thing. I think you go to anywhere, so or you go to anywhere, so the same kind of thing happen. Just whether you dare to go and do. And of course, throughout that time, remember, I also kena saman one. The signage.
Yeah.
My signage was kena saman.
Yeah.
Of course, we did so much deals. What's the saman lah? Nothing much you can complain about the saman already.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, you got any questions based on the statistics that we have shown you? I think Gerald is here to answer some questions of yours. Mr. Alex says hi. He's also here. Mr. Alex, you can come and say hi to your...
Hi, Mr. Alex.
your cousin brother-in-law.
Hi, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Yep.
You see, like, for example, PJ, now there are many manufacturers are moving out and they are converting to commercial. So how many areas like this we have to watch out?
Yeah.
How many what?
How many industrial area like this, like PJ, we have to watch out? Like, for example, where else they are moving out, the manufacturer are moving out and they are converting to other things. Like, for example, in PJ section 13, they're converting to commercial.
Okay.
Gerald, you want to answer, Gerald?
The line is breaking.
Mm.
The only two places that I know that this thing happened is in 𝗧𝗟𝗪𝗃 and PJ lah. And PJ also is not the whole of PJ. It's only like section 13 and section 19, I think.
Slowly 51, slowly a bit. 51.
And people are actually moving out from there. The reason being is there's no room for expansion.
Yeah. I think maybe one more place can say coming.
Solely section 13.
I think Gerald, one more place can say slowly.
And section 19 lah.
If you say maybe answer his question, Mr. Chong's question furthermore is I think besides PJ will be probably USJ and SS13 lah, Subang. Right, Gerald?
What is that?
I think for
online is not that good.
On top of PJ.
No, what you were saying, Gerald?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Gerald?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. On top of PJ and Chan Shaolin, I think the other place we can say is probably USJ and Subang SS13 lah. A little changes there, here and there lah.
Yeah.
Specialization a bit lah, not a lot lah.
Yeah. But yeah, because this was actually earmarked for commercial redevelopment lah. These two areas especially you're talking about section 13 and section 19 has been earmarked for redevelopment of commercial and 𝗧𝗟𝗪𝗃. SS13 and Subang Jaya is like, you don't have, till now they have not done anything yet. But maybe in the future you will know.
Yeah,
the only thing that they have changed is in SS13 is the grant where this industrial lot they have changed it into high rise.
Yeah, that is one only lah. Then I think there's One which is the church, turn to church. Turn to church also one. Not a lot of changes lah, but there is
Yeah.
But the only thing I think is because of the land is quite small in Subang Jaya SS13. So I think also nothing much that they will do. Big development there also.
Yeah.
No, SS13 is all cottage. Most of it is cottage factories. Then the other side is you have like 2-3 acres land but I think that is also fully developed in that area.
Yeah.
Another question I have is, what do you think of there's big industrial park near Kuantan? Are they being successful there?
Okay.
There are some developers trying to develop industrial park in very huge industrial park near Kuantan.
Gerald?
Well, I think the statistics shows that Pahang there is only 57 transactions. So if they're going to do a big development there, so I'm a bit quite worried for them also.
Kuantan side, I'm not so familiar, so I don't know what's the movement, because for me, as long as I'm in Selangor, I think that there is a lot to be done here.
Gerald,
I used to.
I've done Pahang farming before. You taught me farming, I go to Pahang do farming before.
You're done?
Go to Gebeng lah. Went to Gebeng and the port lah, the area. But Mr. Chong, to be honest with you, Pahang, it depends on what product you're building. Like if you're going for heavy industrial medium, then likelihood you have a demand there. If you're going for light and just warehousing, then you are going to kaput there. If you're going to do terrace factories or semi-Ds there, like big scale in Selangor like that, you confirm will kaput there, confirm will die. Because there is depending on the niche industrial market, if you are moving towards the medium and heavy industries, then yes, there might be a demand. But the problem with Pahang side you have to do is workers, dormitory, and so forth.
But I understand the government has earmarked for some development that areas, inviting all the foreigners to come in and all that. But I think it was not successful.
Invited the China.
Giving it.
That one was under the NEP, the National Economic Plan, the NEP by during Najib's time. The East Coast CR project.
They wanted to invite all the China company to come in.
Yeah. But that one totally.
Totally but it didn't work out, I think.
Totally fuck up already. That one cannot already. It's already fucked up. So that's why it's not moving already. Honest with you, that side, if you're doing that kind of big things like the heavy industrial medium, then there's a chance to do some purchasing there, because the land there is really cheap, Mr. Chong. The land there is really cheap for that kind of costing, but you will need to factor in your so-called dormitory. You need to build dormitories for your workers, because otherwise you have to find places to stay. There'll be quite a distance and so on and so forth. And of course, the locals there won't let you go and share their houses and so forth. So you have to build dormitories there. Okay. And then Mr. Alex, you wanted to say something with Gerald? Mr. Alex.
Yeah, right. I mean, watching you guys, hearing you guys. Okay, pretty interesting talk. Of course, Gerard has his years of experience. And so does Leon and your good self.
Yep, sir.
It is pretty good. It's pretty good. But I think the most important thing is touching on Katie Chong's question in terms of you have to wait for the new zoning plans by MBPJ before anyone can comment further.
Yeah, because now the government haven't give any. There's no clear direction to Pahang side for any industrial projects.
Yeah, the Gebeng side, most of the land there is controlled by the SEDC of Pahang.
Yep.
I dealt with one particular land that was many years ago. That was maybe in 2004, 2005. Because of the proximity to the Kuantan port, quite a number of people were coming in. But the biggest thing was the discovery of the rare earth in 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 had this rare earth, and this is where the Australian firm went in, and now the Chinese firm. So, but people are afraid of the residues that may cause cancer or something like that.
The bauxite one, right?
Yeah, the bauxite. So, of course, Australia wants that, and China also wants that because they can manufacture a lot of things, even to the fact they can do plutonium. So I don't know. That's my take on this. But you guys are hands-on compared to me.
But because the industrial demands in Pahang was always good during Dato Sri Najib's time, because he was from Pekan. I think he was always encouraging the industrialization in Pahang State. But after he came down, and of course all the plans was changed. Even ECR, the East Coast Railway, all also koyak and changed. That's why a lot of foreign investors are very afraid to invest in Malaysia already. To be very honest, if they ever put money during that time and then suddenly the plans all go haywire again, the foreigners will go crazy. That's the political instability in Malaysia, right, Mr. Alex?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's the politics that is destroying this country.
Yeah, this country has actually very good natural resources, very good infrastructure, like what Gerald said, but our politics is the one that's killing our own economic and own real estate market also. We hope this message,
that's true.
This message can be sent out to all the government players. I think at least they open their eyes and open their ears, at least open their brains also.
They are well aware. LT, they are well aware. I've had meetings with Finance Ministry many years back. Brought forth a lot of things. All the main players, the SME guys were there. All the major representatives from the various trade bodies were there. It just fell on deaf ears, I can tell you that.
The common problem in Malaysia about tak tahu lah.
Yeah.
Buat tak tahu finish lah. Thank you, Mr. Alex. Anyway, Gerald,
welcome.
Some brother-in-law here online here say hi to you already, brotherly love,
I have another question.
Yeah.
So for section 13 in PJ, so they changed the rezoning from industrial to commercial. Is it the downgrading? Is it the properties, the land value? Is it lower? I mean, the value will be lower than the industrial.
Okay, it will be higher because commercial always have the highest value lah.
Yeah. I think Mr. Martin Chow also has a question here. Is it good for industrial area to change the commercial zoning? How will it affect the property value in the future? I think similar question to what Mr. Chong says. Gerald, I think the answer definitely, a lot of them don't know that commercial, in terms of residential, commercial, and industrial, and agriculture land, upon the four sectors, that is the main sectors of property market, the real estate market, commercial value is the highest among all. You can always look at how commercial land in KLCC is worth, and of course how much is worth in PJ, or how much industrial land worth in KL, or how much industrial land worth in PJ. Is still commercial will always be higher. And the fact that why just now the national aerated water was sold at that price at $514 per square feet is because of commercial value, not because of industrial value. Yeah, so in terms of property pricing, commercial will definitely bring up the industrial value, and in future the commercialization of the place will definitely make the place more vibrant, more people walking around, and definitely has commercial value and more expensive per square feet as well. May I ask what is the plot ratio for the Kickapoo factory and land? Good question, Michelle Tong. Who you want us to answer you? Gerald, you want to answer her, Gerald? What's the plot ratio for the Kickapoo land?
But you see, to be certain with the plot ratio, I think we have to go to the Majlis MPPJ to check on the plot ratio.
What they
averagely, I think it's 1 to 6 lah.
Yeah, either it's 1 to 6 or minimum 1 to 4 lah. It's minimum definitely is 1 to 4. Okay, you can't be 1 to 2.5. If that is minimum 1 to 4, that side got no LRT.
Yeah.
Right? That side got no LRT is far off from section 13. LRT is far off along federal. LRT is along federal and along that side. It's not under TOD, so it's likelihood not 1 to 8 lah. So it's probably I think in between 1 to 4 to 1 to 6.
The closest is 𝗟𝗑𝗩𝗪 lah.
Yeah, closest is 𝗟𝗑𝗩𝗪. So we are looking at the development. Definitely is going to be between 1 to 4, 1 to 6. The plot ratio, which is good enough. But that means if the land is 2 acres, 87,000 square feet. Like this one 2.06, it should be about 90,000 square feet. If you got a plot ratio of 5, you can easily go to 450,000 square feet of space. And if you are going to sell about 65 to 70% of that place which the architect is going to draw for you, you'll be looking at let's say 225, about probably 260, 270, 80,000 square feet of sellable space. So that is going to be a big GDV there, Michelle. Okay. Any more questions you all, ladies and gentlemen, want to ask? Leon also.
Yeah, I have another question. Is talking about the plot ratio.
Yeah.
So is it we can, from the selling price of the property, we can more or less calculate or slight more or less guess how much the plot ratio is?
From the selling price, we can guess. Roughly, if you know how to do the calculation backward from the GDV, what is the percentage the land cost is to the GDV? We can do a calculation. We roughly will know. Of course, the developer will have their own calculation of what they're going to build. There are different developers as different team of people managing their developments. Architects can know how to find their ways to get the highest sellable place. Sellable units and sellable square feet to the consumers. Okay.
Is there a ruling in PJ? Is there a ruling that there are certain they have to control the building height?
Yeah.
I think the PJ they are not allowed to build certain height.
Unit perancangan and unit bangunan will have this height, have this height control thing. You want to say something, Gerald? Gerald, you want to say something?
I think there was a control one time. There was a control one time because of the Subang Airport. So they have a height restriction during that time. But now, since they have moved to KLIA, so I don't think the height restriction applies. But only thing is you must check on the plot ratio lah. Because sometimes they have zone certain areas for limited commercial only. Some of them they give full commercial. So limited commercial, you only have plot ratio 1 to 2 only.
Yep, limited commercial 1 to 2 only. Yeah, Mr. Alex, you were saying the plot ratio was 3.25. That was the approved one by the Kikapu land, right? Yeah, I think Mr. Alex saw that it was 3.25, but I believe 3.25 they should be able to increase that. Because if they're going on 3.25,
they should be able to.
I think center stage center stage was also 3 point something.
But also it is quite close to Jalan Semangat. Maybe there is some height restriction or what. So.
The plot ratio was quoted by VPC Alliance, James Wong, the MD. He classified it as mixed commercial development with a plot ratio of 3.25.
But quite low also, 3.25 compared to the Malay acid 2.5.
Yeah, but Nanyang Yang Pao and all that had lower.
Lower?
Yep.
I expected them to get at least one. Center stage was also 3 point something.
But BAT also got higher plot ratio. What?
BAT also got higher plot ratio, yeah.
Yeah, British American.
So that's why actually at the end also this one subject to the perancangan and the land office to say yes or no lah. Because to be honest with you,
you can appeal actually.
can appeal. But if you're in KL time during Tengku Anand's time, definitely you can appeal much higher. The one you can do wonders. But in Malaysia, sorry to say, now during here cannot not so easy. Plot ratio 3.25, it should be increased higher. It should be increased higher. Yeah. Mr. Gerald, any more questions you ladies and gentlemen want to ask? Wouldn't the renewal premium be quite a hefty addition for the per square feet price? Yes, of course, but of course that's factored into as the cost to the developer, Michelle. Definitely the developer will have the cost to that. Factored that cost in. 𝗟𝗟𝗩𝗘, you got something to ask?
No.
𝗟𝗟𝗩𝗘?
Sorry,
I can't hear you, 𝗟𝗟𝗩𝗘. No, I don't think she has something to ask. Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen, you want to ask? There's 100 old people here, and of course, Facebook also we have some questions from Facebook. You can also ask. Kelvin, you have something to ask? No, sorry, okay. So I think, as you can see, the industrial demand in 2020 outlook has been quite okay. 1,980 units has been sold. 𝗟𝗟𝗩𝗘, you got something to ask, Anne?
no, I pressed wrongly, sorry.
Okay, no problem. There's 1,980 units that is sold, and I think industrial sectors overall. Gerald, conclude. For conclusion, what do you think by this slide? Industrial is still good, huh?
Industrial is still good and is still moving. As I mentioned earlier, and I think previous talk, I think we should look into our activity, because I always believe activity breeds productivity.
Yep.
So I wouldn't say industrial is an easy market, it's a tough market. It takes longer time to deal, but you are dealing with the decision maker. So I think if you can close industrial day, it can last you for quite some time now.
Yep, exactly. And Leon, what do you have to say to conclude whether industrial is it okay?
I would feel one of the best in the market right now. As what Gerald said also, go back to the basic, do back your activities and fight for it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's so many of you here. I want to get some response from you. If you think you want to burst into the industrial market, if you want to venture into the industrial market, okay, please give me a 5 if you are not an industrial specialist. But if you are an industrial specialist, you're already a top agent, I don't need to answer me, you already know your answer. Okay, if you want to go into the industrial market and do some deals there, there's a lot of you. So a lot of you want to become industrial specialists. All right. A lot. Chong, Jeanette, Dania, Josephine, SK, Yap, Jen, Christina, Go, Jay, H, Jamil, Sean, Reese, Kelvin, Parames, Taufik, Albert. Wow, so many. Industrial not enough place for you all. Just joking. Wow,
Hey, still a lot of areas you can cover, man.
Still a lot of places. Annie, he, John Lee. Okay, so Swati, everyone is here to do. Okay, let me tell you this. Industrial is no joke. It's really a game that is you need specialization. There's so many of you, and some of you here also here just to hear us share some values. You want to learn some values, feel free to ask questions. Don't need to be shy. We don't care you are a competitor or not. We are happy to have a lot of competitors around. And myself, my Sifu is not in the same company as me, but my Sifu is a different company. Also, we work very closely and we work openly as well. The way we work is all about how we make money together, right, Gerald?
Yep.
Okay, for answering you that, I think, Gerald, let's go for a little bit last conclusion. To evaluate yourself, look at the slides here. Look at the slides here. You have to evaluate yourself smartly, okay? And whether you want to check yourself whether you have the best characteristics and skills to become the best industry. I mean, to be the best in the industry. whether you can strive well at this industrial market. I've prepared this smart measurable thing for you. Okay, you have to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Okay, to become a smart agent and also industrial specialist. Being an industrial specialist has to be a little bit business-minded, brain that is mainly good in a little bit of mathematics. No need to be at maths. Good in mathematics, calculation, negotiations, and things like that. So, Gerald, I think you look at this screen and you can see the screen, Gerald.
Yep.
Okay, you have to see whether you agree with me on this. Okay, in other words, if you want to become an industrial specialist, first thing, I think you have to be good, a little bit good in maths. You cannot know 1 + 1 is what, don't know, also you don't know what, then susah lah. Okay?
Yep.
So, and you have to become a problem solver. You must have problem solving skills. Correct, Gerald?
Yes.
Okay, so becoming an industrial, when you have these two skills, okay, normally in the normal circumstances, we will call you an engineer because you got maths, you got problem solving, you can build buildings, then you call yourself an engineer. Okay, that means you can engineer a machine, you can engineer a chemical out, or you can engineer a building. So in industrial sector, we have to learn a bit of engineering, Gerald.
Yeah.
Over the years, I followed you, and last time when I was a young boy, I think I ventured into becoming an industrial specialist has put some engineering brains into me, but I didn't start. I wasn't so good science student. I didn't have the brains to go and engineer things out, but I consider myself modern maths okay, problem solving definitely okay. So I'm an engineer in talking lah. I would say that, Gerald.
Yep.
Good engineer in talking a bit lah. So in problem solving we are good lah. So we are industrial specialists, still part of engineers lah. Engineering your mouth, your negotiation skills. Okay, then of course, in other words, we have people skills, okay, and problem solving. If you have these two things, problem solving and people skills, okay, Gerald, I don't know whether you agree or not, has to be in management the most problematic place to be involved in.
Wow. Yes, I agree with you.
That's the
100%.
company. Okay. You got problem solving skills, you got people skills, then you can become, you can be part of the management side. All right.
Yep.
Later we have some questions. Okay, later we answer your questions. Okay. Then of course, if you have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, means everything have to be damn right. Everything have to be fucking right. Okay. So, and of course you are good at maths. With maths and OCD, we call them accountants. Correct. If you're an accountant, don't be sad. Because your accountants always want things to be right. Always want things to be right. Accountants can always find the problems, but they just don't know how to solve it. They must ask the management to go and solve it. Right, Gerald?
Yep.
Okay. This one is a damn good slide. I think Mr. Alex shared this with us. And of course, Gerald, this one is your forte. If you got drinking skills and you got people skills, then you are in sales. You are in sales. Gerald, is that correct, Gerald?
Correct.
This one is what you taught me. You must learn how to drink. That's why if you don't know how to drink, you cannot be in sales. Correct, Gerald? Correct.
Yeah, after a couple of years, we used to talk and teach you a lot of things.
Yeah, so drinking skills and sales, people skills is sales. Then of course, heartless. If you are heartless and you're OCD, shit. You're in human resource. Okay, you always fire people, and now people are all very worried because once the human resource call them, means like no job. Okay, and Gerald, lastly, I don't know whether you agree with this. This is one thing I learned from you since the day you know what you did that you taught me. If you are heartless and you are good at drinking, you are definitely a lawyer. You remember what you did? Right?
Very true.
So very true. Heartless and drinking, then you're a lawyer. So you must see what skills you have. What are the skills you need to become an industrial specialist, Gerald?
I think you need all of the above.
All of the above. You have to be heartless at times.
You got to be heartless at times, yes. You got to be engineer at times.
Yeah.
An accountant also. Human resources, but this is a very good slide, actually.
Very good slide, But thanks to your cousin, your cousin brother, Mr. X shared this out. So I think industrial specialists, you have to be all of them. So my eyes look here, really laugh like hell. So seriously, I think industrial specialists, we have to be part of all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because we are dealing with all the trickiest minds in the market, all of them are all very smart people who runs factories, who runs big businesses, and sometimes they don't. If you say heartless, sometimes they are more heartless than us, Gerald.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to see how. I mean, with the things that I went through, you last time, how you 𝗟𝗪𝗪 the lawyer. I can never forget that. How you scolded the lawyer. That time it's like I went to church. I saw an angel. The angel came down. But the angel say bad word to the lawyer. How can like that? You don't tak masuk akal that time. Okay.
I don't like anyone bullying my people as well.
That's why.
True.
Okay, there's a question here. Ron Go asks, agricultural land in industrial zoning quite active. Is it worth to involve besides only doing in ready industrial properties? Agricultural land in industrial zoning.
I think this sector also is most sought after also, because a lot of people, they prefer buying agricultural land which is zoned industrial rather than buying an industrial land itself, which is more costly.
Yeah, I think I mean on top of that, to Tamba, I think there's a lot of agricultural businesses going on. A lot of things going to the biotech agriculture, the bio side of it. What's the word really they call it? Like they're going into different kinds of way of doing the planting and getting it mature faster and things like that, and also more healthier and all these things lah. So I believe agricultural land is a very active, because Gerald, a lot of people asked me this before, is agriculture part of industrial? I always say yes, because agriculture is also considered an industrial side of all the raw materials that we consume, right? Yeah, eco farming means it's also that's part of it. Not the word eco farming. There's another word for it. I can't remember what's the word. But I think general agriculture is also part of industrial in the industrial sector. But of course, it's just industrial side of the raw materials part, Gerald.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
like someone asked me a question. You see, sometimes whether they can store some trucks or trailers or what in agricultural land.
Yeah. Seriously, yes. Now they even do that.
Yeah. So for me, they can store it, but they cannot get license if they want to put a signboard and all that now.
Yep.
Because you have to have the land to be converted in industrial.
Yep.
Unless you want to do it illegally, then you operate illegally, you can store everything. You still can use agricultural land.
Yeah. I think there's another increase of agricultural land for industry is the solar farming also. Solar farming is also on agricultural land.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an increase of demand on this part also. And yes, what kinds of problems you facing, Zen? What do you mean? What kinds of problems you facing, Zen? What kind of problems you facing? You mean as just now the slide, is it the problem solving? Problem solving means all kinds of problems that you face. You must know how to problem solve it, Zen. I think you're asking that, right? Good drinking and talking, what will become? Good drinking and talking, what will become? That one I need to ask Gerald. Gerald, good drinking and talking, what will become?
Huh?
What will become of what will you become if you're good in drinking and talking?
Playboy.
Sometimes you need to be an entertainer,
Sometimes
you need sometimes to entertain your clients.
Yeah, that's why. So that's why when you become an industrial agent, you're working towards yourself to become a CEO, Chief Entertainment Officer.
Like LT, you have to entertain your client by going to karaoke and all that, isn't it?
Every time, all sorts of things. What kind of karaoke before?
Because this is actually when you go drinking with a client, your client can be very close to you,
Yep, exactly.
This is how you build relationship, actually.
Yep, exactly. Very good example is my Mr. Lok, my good friend.
Yeah, you go drinking,
Mr. Lok is Mr. Lok
they come
today, sir. Mr. Lok today is not my client anymore. He's my good buddy.
exactly.
I'm his property consultant already.
And anytime he wants to buy property, he look for you one because you have built a relationship.
Yeah,
I think building relationship is very important.
exactly. Now, if we go karaoke, I sing with him. Yeah, he to sing with him. Yeah. So okay, Danny Glan, what wonderful slide. Sure, Danny, this is a wonderful slide. For us to laugh on. Vincent, agriculture, good, then become good orator, then become good politician. I think Mr. Alex, in Malaysia, the biggest ever occupation and ambition for anyone else in the future is next time I'm going to train my son and tell my son become politician better. Because politician in Malaysia makes a lot of money. And if you do anything wrong, you basically can go home quarantine for 1 year and your fine is very low. And your fine and your denda is very low. So Malaysia has a very good opportunity to become a good businessman in the politics world. Very nice. I think that's something that I myself also changed my ambition in the past 1 year after learning a lot of things from politics. Yeah. Yes, right. What is the most challenges that you're facing? Zen asks us, what is the challenges that we face as industrial specialists? Gerald, what's the things that you face being an industrial specialist?
I think the common thing is competition.
Competition.
That's why I always believe that, when you have to be a specialist in the area that you're focusing on. Then when you talk to a person, you can build the confidence of a person because you are expert in the area.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people, you have to learn about the area well, and you have to learn about the other areas, especially you're talking about market value.
Yeah.
And also, I think many people is afraid to pick up the phone and talk to people. Cold calling I think, is a very important aspect of real estate.
Yep.
If you are scared to speak to people, sometimes people say, "Oh, this Dato, I'm scared to call the Dato." Because maybe they assume things for him that he may be busy. I think if you're free to even take up a phone and call, because real estate is all about you reaching out to people. No? It's no more people reaching out to you.
Yep.
So these are a few challenges that you have to overcome. And when you talk to people are going to ask you, how much do you think my land or my property is worth? And if you cannot answer, you don't build a confidence of the clients.
Yep.
So I believe that this is some of the obstacles that you have to go through. Learn from your mistake and sharpen yourself.
I think, Gerald, one of the things that I also want to share is that if you're a real estate negotiator in the residential market and you feel that residential is already complicated and giving you headache, I think don't come to industrial, because industrial is worse. you meet more trickier.
Very true. But that's what I'm saying. Is like what you say is for people who are aggressive.
Yeah.
Who willing to penetrate. Then you can become industrial. These are a few obstacles that you have to go through.
Yeah, I think I cut a short story short for you, Zen and Parame, since you asked a question. Now it's 2021. Back 13 years ago, 2008, I tell you a very short story of what Gerald did for me. Was when I closed a deal with a Dato that played me out. Eventually, that I got sued by the Dato and his lawyer. And those days, I was just a 22, 23-year-old boy. I was in Redfield with Gerald. The lawyer came to the office and questioned me like I was a prisoner like that. No, I wasn't having this kind of bald head sitting in front of him. So he was questioning me like a prisoner that time. And of course, I didn't know what to do, because that was a time that I felt that when you are so gangster, also no use. At the end of the day, you do something wrong in the corporate world, they can send you to jail just because of doing something wrong, promise a client something that you didn't promise. But at the end of the day, they actually take you to court because they want to play you. Okay, so I was worried in the corporate world at the time. $2.9 million deal, I still can remember. But like I said just now, why was I laughing when I saw the angel coming? The day that I was sat down in front of the lawyer and was questioned, 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗘 was next to me. And what happened next was, after the lawyer started questioning me and telling me that, hey, I'm asking you a question, you should answer me yes or no, do nothing else. Okay, when I ask you, you answer me. This is I don't know what the hell he said, something like I have to listen to him. So this 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗘 got so angry with the fellow bullying me, he slammed the table, he got up, all his super languages from the dictionary, from the F part came out, and scolded the lawyer, and the lawyer straight away stunned, closed the book, look at him only. Okay, and after that, next thing, I already know 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗘 asked him to get out of the office, and if he wants to sue, you can sue, because we were a lawyer to defend us. And that was the minute I saw, hey, Gerald, you can scold the lawyer like that one. How this angel came from heaven, but the angel came from heaven all used for like the one, you know. The lawyer straight away takut already. After that, close the book. Then I still remember, Gerald, what they said. After that, you asked me to go out. Then they say, hey, Gerald, you're Indian, help Indian lah, right?
Yeah.
Give us the deal lah. Give the deal to Dato lah. Indian help Indian lah. All this rubbish. Then of course, Gerald didn't give in. He protected my rice bowl also. Then after Gerald told him, said, if the deal is called off, then the deal is yours. And after that, I remember that I went outside and spoke with Gerald, asked, hey Gerald, you can go and fuck the lawyer like that one. And I always remember you telling me this, you got to do anything wrong or not? You never do anything wrong, then fight for your right. So I can tell you that was the day that changed my life, and I know that how to deal with lawyers. And if you're right, fight for your rights. Don't sit down, let people tembak you. And in the industrial market, I can tell you from that day onwards, it changed my mindset on how I actually perceive and look at the industrial sector. It is not a place where you play simple games. Okay, it's not a simple. If you look, just look at the game snake and ladder. Snake and ladder, you got snake going down, ladders going up. And similarly, you throw the dice. Okay, you follow the number and you go. But let's say the snake and ladder can make up a lot of rules. Okay, can make up simply a lot of rules. Of course, you can put up some other additional rules. Your dice can flip, 6 can go double, 1 can go another time, and all those rubbish. You can set your own rules, but people basically play your mind out if you want to play the game with them. And they are very, very good at playing that kind of game. And sometimes it's up to them to call that game. And you have to really look at the gameplay and play with them properly. And of course, some people always ask for 3%. It's easy to ask in residential market, but in the commercial side and the industrial side, it's a different game to ask for 3%, huh, Gerald?
Yeah.
Yeah, so to be very honest with you, the day that I saw Gerald F the lawyer, then I realized that actually studying so much doesn't mean so much to us anymore. So it's more about street smart and how you deal with honesty and how you deal with integrity, which is very important in business. In business itself, because no matter how honest you are, there will be somebody who wants to come and poke your backside as well, Gerald.
Yeah.
Yeah. So industrial, if you hate residential, you hate the negotiations there, don't come to industrial, because industrial is real big shit. Okay, it's really more.
It'll be worse off.
It'll be worse off. It'll be worse off. And of course, this Sifu that I know for since 2006 until now, he really has taught me a lot of things. And of course, a lot of things in our minds, sometimes we really need to think properly in how we deal with it and how we deal with those kind of hardness or different kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can give examples of problems you guys face when dealing with industrial land. Okay. Give examples of problems you guys face when dealing with industrial land. What kind of problems, Paramis? Maybe this one you ask me a lot of industrial land, a lot of things are probably you can look at. Sometimes got squatters or got people plant trees at the area. That one I got a long story. You just Paramis, are you with CID? You're with CID, is it, Paramesh? Okay, I think you knew, you joined Kuldeep that side, right? Don't worry, you will hear a lot of my stories soon. When my stories will go never ending one. One day you can have a drink with Gerald will give you more stories. SK to everyone, GRO. Oi, bro, GRO. Janganlah. We are guest relation officer you're talking about. Okay, GRO, no lah, you go to karaoke, I know what GRO, but don't say GRO here. Danny Gunn, agree, bigger problem, bigger reward, at least 2 times harder than commercial, yes, and super languages. Of course, even in industrial sector, if you meet some bosses, they are contractor based. I've met a client before, a Datuk client of mine. I sit down with him, right? From his mouth, 10 words come out, right? 7 words is fuck one, okay? He will ask you, hey, LT, how the fucking owner, the fucking bastard, is he fucking good? Wow, the words, I tell you, he can ask you fuck all the way one. And I thought I was one of the best in the market doing that kind of words, but I think he was better. He was better than me. He was the king of F word. Every word that everything. He's a road contractor. He builds roads. Every word that came out of his mouth was F all the way on. And he's the Chinese type of F. Really, really very. And he talk already. He will laugh. Yeah, you know the fucking bastard. Fucking bastard. Right? Damn funny one, this guy. This Dato is damn funny. He's still a client of us now. He ask you funny questions. I'll talk to you, and every word is F1. Okay, so buy your drinks and listen to the story. Thank you, Zen. Okay, so I think Gerald, thanks for
I
your
have
time.
a question to ask.
Yeah.
You see, regarding the agricultural land zoning industrial, you see, the moment the agricultural land owner, they know that their land are zoning industrial, then they start raising their price. Of course, this is natural.
Yeah, of course.
The thing is, of course, from the buyer side, they will also want to buy at the agricultural land price.
Okay.
So how actually to a rough estimation, what is the justified price? What's a fair price for agricultural land without conversion yet?
Gerald, my boss.
Zoning industrial.
You answer better.
I think it depends on the area you're looking at, because every area has a different price range. So if you're talking about agriculture, normally from agriculture to industrial, it will be like you got to calculate how much the premium first. The cost of premium to convert the land to industrial. Sometimes the premium can be around $8 to $10 per square foot.
Yeah. And
so
continue, sir.
So you have to play with our figures. But as what you said is right, many owners, if they know their land has been zoned for industrial, they will ask for their futuristic market price. That is based on industrial land, not agriculture zone industrial.
Okay, Mr. Chong.
I think there is also one thing for sure is like, I think Mr. Chong, you asked the question, I think it's the wrong question. What people are asking is like, if they are in the agricultural land, zone industrial, if they are asking for a price of industrial land price, I think it's not fair. But let's say if they're going to mark up the price to a fair price of industrial zoning prices, I think it's okay. Most important thing is after you calculate into the premium added into 20% for light industrial, 25% for medium industrial, or 30% for heavy industrial, if you add it up and then you compare with the market price of the industrial, if it is about that price, I think what the owner is selling for the agricultural land is fair. Let's say, for example, the land of industrial is 80 ringgit, but now he is having an agricultural land, but zone industrial is only selling at 40 ringgit. After conversion of the premium, it add up to 70 over ringgit. I think it's fair, okay, because you still need to pay for administration fee, you have to pay for the processing fee, so it add up also up to 80 ringgit. So I think it's fair for people to ask for industrial zoning kind of prices. Well, it's very common for buyer to buy at low price, seller to sell at high price. So that's why we are here as a negotiator to negotiate and make the deal done.
Okay. Any more beautiful
How
questions?
I answer you also?
Any more beautiful questions? Want to ask the industrial specialists? Can ask any questions. Industrial people are very technical, especially my Sifu is here. Sifu here can ask more questions. All right, if you don't have any more questions, I thank you all of you for a wonderful time with us on this live talk show. Without saying anything else, I would like to also thanks to Mr. 𝗟𝗓𝗪𝗘 for being here as our guest today and my Sifu. Okay, and remember to please go into our website. If you are a guest, if you want to know more about CID, go into our website. Do put in a form, and you want to apply to become a negotiator. Come in and check out with us. And besides that, please go to Facebook, our CID Realtors page. You will see the particular talk that we are doing today, live talk show with Leon and 𝗟𝗓 as our guest. Do please leave a comment to us whether it was good or not. Did we teach you something besides the bad words that we taught you a bit just now? Please leave some comments to us. Tell us how good we are, and we hope we have taught you many things today. And this live talk show was especially for all the audience. We hope to build the numbers soon to be more than 500 in one of the shows coming in one day, and we'll continue to do this consistently. 𝗟𝗓, thank you very much. Any last words for all our friends here? Leon, any last words for them?
Can I ask a last question?
You can ask the last question. Yeah. You can ask the last question.
I come across one some asking something like this. I don't know whether it's a real or weird things request. This tenant, he want to rent a factory, but request the present factory to increase the 300 M to 500 M. Is it a realistic request?
The tenant asked the owner to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, provided the owner wants to do it. If the owner is willing to do it, then they'll factor the increment into the rental. Or if the owner doesn't want to do it, then ask the tenant to do it. Then the tenant have to pay their own expenses to increase the power.
Because what I understand is to increase to 500 amps is quite costly.
Increasing definitely depends on whether the wire in the cable in the factory is enough to hold the power coming in. If it's not enough, then they have to realign a new additional line. Then of course it's more expensive. They come by meter one.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. 𝗟𝗓, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, welcome.
Everyone enjoys your talk. Please go to CID Realtors page, like us, follow us, and write our email address, write our detail, write our so-called comment there. And if you want to contact me, this is my email address. WhatsApp me at 010466248, all even numbers. And follow me at Lautong Instagram with an _ LinkedIn with me, Lautong LOW space QNG, and add me on Facebook if you can. Because last time not many friends, now I need to make more friends. Please add me in and say hello. Okay. Thank you very much, 𝗟𝗓. Thank you for your time. Please stay home, stay safe. And
Thanks.
remember,
Thank you.
Thank you. MCO will bring you the best out of you. Survive well, my dear human beings. And CID Realtors, thank you very much, 𝗟𝗓, my Sifu. You are a survivalist. And Leon, thank you very much. Good night. Okay, you're still an office away from me, okay?
Okay.
No, you don't want to yamcha. No time, no place. Mama yamcha, we can tapa. I make coffee for you.
Yeah, lah.
Can.
Bingo label come office.
My office can yamcha. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. See you all. Good night, all the way from.
Good night, guys.
Thank you very much. And all the best. Gong xi fa chai to all of you. Chinese New Year. So, no choice now. Have to stay home and gong xi fa chai. Okay, please enjoy your gong xi fa chai. Gong xi fa chai, 大家. Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you all.
Good night. Kong Ivat Choi, everybody.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
See you, Gerald. Thanks, Gerald. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.